momentous day. This is the first FSD trip I'm doing. I just got FSD last night, and man, I wish my dad was here, Fred Tarver Sr., because he was a gadget man, and he wouldn't, well, he would believe, because he was into all this stuff, but he'd be amazed at how far these things have come. And it's just great that you know, we have the ability to do this sort of thing. So I feel like this is like you know, I'm not trusting this car to do anything. I said when Autopilot first came out, version 1, I said I'm not touching Autopilot until like version 10. This was back in 2014, and lo and behold, what version do I have right now? 10.3.1. So you know, I'm trying it out. But I feel like if you have a 10-year-old and you're trying to teach them how to drive, that's how I approach this Autopilot beta. I'm not expecting this thing to do the right thing in any circumstance. So I'm sitting here with the wheel, and you know, I can take over at any time, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm teaching my kid how to drive, and hopefully the kid will get better over time. So I'm going to navigate on Autopilot, put in my destination. I'm just going to check out some metal samples, you know, that I have to pick up out in Auburn Hills, and so that is what we're gonna do. And let's see, I don't know how to make this thing go. I'm not on the street yet. So I'm wondering how to even get this thing started. Oh, you know what? Shoot. Dummy, you got to pull the stalk twice. I don't know why my camera just shut off. I'm going to come out here. And there we go. I just started it up. It's putting on the turn signal. Okay. So we are autopiloting. It's creeping forward. Trying to make this right up there. Making it right. It did that okay. So we made our first turn on autopilot, and it's kind of
500 feet. Turn left onto
going slowly
Woodward
up to the light. We're going over to across an old Woodward, and then we're going to go up to Woodward. And so far so good. Dummy that I am, I sitting here expecting the thing to start driving, and I hadn't pressed down on the stalk twice. So now the car in front of me is going, and we are off. It's a little confused by that corner there where there was a left turn lane. And now we are in this middle left
now
turn lane.
Left onto Woodward Avenue.
He's a little confused because we can go left in 4 different lanes here. Now he's stopping, so I gotta get him to go. Oh, he's really confused. That was messed up. So that was not good. Coming out of the thing, I gotta let him know about that over at Tesla. And we don't need a turn signal anymore. Okay. So we're out of the driveway for 2 minutes, and we already had our first disengagement. Now we're kind of zooming up to this light. We don't need to do that. A little aggressive. I wouldn't do that because I see the light is red. I would, you know, ease up, but this guy doesn't mind using the brakes. I wonder what its safety score would be. My safety score was 99. I don't know about navigate on autopilot though. That was a tricky little intersection there because you had a little narrow, coming out of a narrow street. We had a left turn lane and a go straight lane kind of close together, and Then you come up to Woodward and you got 4 lanes all going left, and so you know, it didn't know how to handle it, quite frankly, and it was confused. So I saved the dash cam footage, sent that over to Tesla, and hopefully that'll make the system smarter. So right now we're just going along on Woodward, doing 50 miles an hour, and you know, just staying in our lane. So this is not too much of a challenge. When we get in a mile and a half, we're going to have to go right on Opendijk, and the place I'm going is way out on Opendijk, way north on Opendijk, and so you know, we're just going to be on like 2 roads here, so it should not be too much of a challenge. I keep forgetting to tweak the wheel, and it's alerting me. I'm getting used to this thing. It's a new deal. So now it's going to change lane to follow the road. Okay, it's getting over in the right lane, which it should do, because we're going to be going up on Opendijk pretty soon. So that was pretty smooth. Man, I tell you, this is it's a new day. Now it's getting over. I don't know why it's getting over in this lane. It's gonna have to get back over again. Let's get back over again. So I don't know why it went changed. Now we're zooming up to this car up here. This thing don't mind using the brakes. I don't like using the brake. I like that one pedal driving where I ease up and I'm looking ahead to see when I might have to ease up, rather than just zooming up to something like people often do, zoom up and then, you know, hit the brakes. I don't like to do that. I like to anticipate what's up here. See, now he's slamming on the brakes here. So if this was my safety score would be getting hit, because, you know, Tesla would consider that hard braking. And it's unnecessary. The thing is, you know, if it was as good a driver as I am. Now we got to get over onto Opendijk. So here we go. And this thing is going way too fast onto Opendijk. But I wouldn't go that fast, but it did it fine. Now we're on a road where the speed limit is 25, so it should calm down. Woohoo! Full self-driving. FSD beta 10.3.1. We are on the road. So it's doing 25, and I might have to, I hope it won't let me, yeah, I'm boosting up the speed a little bit, because, well, it won't let me do that. The people up ahead are not going that fast, and I would imagine the people behind me might get a little frustrated. I would be going a little faster here, but the speed limit is 25. I've got the limit set to 30. I'm setting it to 30, and we're actually doing 30. So you didn't realize it could go faster through there. I might put it up to 32, because I would probably go that fast if I was, you know, that's more than the speed limit, but everybody's doing more than the speed limit in general. Getting a call. I don't want to deal with a call right now. I don't want to be distracted, because I'm teaching this 10-year-old how to drive. And when you're doing that, you cannot be messing around. You can't be, you know, getting involved in something else, yakking, carrying on conversation, being on the phone. And you definitely can't be trying to sleep in the back seat or any kind of crap like that. You need to pay attention to this thing. This thing is in the learning mode. It's not ready. It is not ready for prime time. See, there's people zooming by me because, you know, they see that they can go fast. Now it's picking up some because we're in a higher speed limit area. You know, this is not the kind of thing where you can get in here and pretend like, you know, it's capable of full self-driving. It's full self-driving beta. And by the way I would define things as an engineer, I don't even define it as beta, because beta means, to me, the way we used to do it, it has all of the features that you wanted to have. Those are designed in. It works the way fully that it's supposed to work. And now you're putting it out there so that you can find out if it works, if it does what it's supposed to do, and you make final corrections. What this is there are still going to be design changes and feature enhancements to this thing before it's close to being ready for prime time. So you know, this is not, in my mind, a beta. This is alpha. So we're coming up to a stoplight. It sees the stoplight, and it is stopping. So that's a good thing. Did that all by itself. All by itself. Now we got the cars turning left and right. Again, this is not a tricky route here. We're just going straight out Opdyke to the destination. And so I'm not expecting any disengagements along here. You know, I've seen people on much trickier routes in cities trying all kinds of different things, construction areas. There's nothing like that. We just going straight. We went straight out Opdyke. We're going straight out Opdyke to Oakland Metals to pick up some metal samples for a construction project we're doing at the house. And then we're just going to turn around and go back. So for the first drive, the light turned green, and here we go. Did it by itself. For this first drive, I'm not trying to, you know, stress this thing to the max. I just want to see if it'll basically do what it's supposed to do. And so we had one disengagement, and that was on that tricky, what could be considered tricky intersection coming across Woodward. It's not something you see every day, where you got 4 lanes all going left. You know, again, it got a little confused, and I had to take over because I didn't want to be messing around getting on the Woodward the first time. So now we are we're just heading straight out, following these people up Opdyke, and you know, it hasn't scared me since that first since that one disengagement. It hasn't really done anything that I would consider dangerous. You know, took a corner a little fast, went slow in another place, but you know, nothing that friends of mine wouldn't have done. So, and certainly nothing that a 10-year-old wouldn't do. So it hasn't really tried to kill me at this point, and I'm expecting at some point that it will, and I just hope that I'm ready. That's because I'm going to be paying attention to this mug. I'm paying attention to this mug. Is that what I'm trying to say? Trying to say? I'm paying attention. And I'm constantly, you know, getting prompted to apply pressure to the wheel. So it's not letting me sit here and, you know, not be engaged. It wants to be engaged. I got to figure out a way to apply this pressure to the wheel just like more constantly, and in a way that it doesn't have to prompt me. Because what I do, I end up easing up on the wheel, and then it tells me. But if I was just like applying a little pressure all the time, maybe it wouldn't do that. I don't know. But I'm still, I'm just getting used to this thing. I had autopilot, for a while. Here's a guy in front of me, his lights are on and the stoplight is on, and again, we're having to stop faster than I would have done. I would have eased up before, seeing that up ahead the light was red and a person had stopped. I wouldn't just zoom up and then stop, but that's how this thing works. I was saying that I've had full self-driving, but I didn't have the beta. I just had the autopilot before, and I didn't even use it that much. On the highway, I would use it sometimes, but so I'm still getting the hang of this thing. And when you're using this, just like when people first started using getting directions from GPS, you had to learn how to use the GPS system and learn kind of when it would tell you to do things and how much time you had and this kind of thing. There's an art to or a technique that you have to use and get used to when you are using something like that. And the same is true at this point for the full self-driving beta. You kind of have to work with it, as it develops. I'm sure that it will get to the point where all you have to do is get in and activate it. But right now, you kind of have to know how to work with this thing, know how to apply the pressure kind of consistently, know when to look to disengage, know what your threshold is for disengagement. My threshold for disengagement is changing lanes by itself. My threshold for disengagement is very low. I've got this thing on a short leash. I'm sorry. I'm not, I ain't trying to have the thing take me to Atlanta without touching it or anything like that. So again, we zoom up to a stopped car and put on the brakes, and I would have done it more gently. We just say that's the way it is. We can log that. I don't have to say it every time. That's just what it does. Now we're coming to this intersection and it's slowing down, kind of creeping forward. So it's being real cautious, even though the light was green. It slowed down. That doesn't bother me. Okay, be cautious. But it was not something that most humans would do. You see the light is green. You can kind of look both ways and see nothing coming. But, I'd rather it be too cautious than not cautious enough. I got to remember, too, to keep, both hands on the wheel, because this thing, it might jerk or something all of a sudden, and you got to be ready. So I'm tempted to just kind of, sit back, put one hand down, but no, I can't do that. I got to be ready. Vigilante. It is a cottage and pizza. I have to say, I have never had an experience.
Turn right onto Commercial Drive.
I have never had an experience like this in an automobile, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, this is new. It's a new day.
Now
And
turn right onto Commercial
it's
Drive.
telling me to turn right here, so we must be close to the place. It's making the right turn. Making the right turn. I hope the place is back here.
Now turn left.
Okay, now it's saying turn left. I hope it knows where the place is, because I don't. Unicore. And now it's going to go on down here. Wow, it did all that by itself. Okay, so it's
Now
going.
your destination is on the left.
Destination on the left. I don't know where this place is. I don't see it, but so it took me in the vicinity. I'm gonna take it out of autopilot, and I'm just gonna look around, see where this place is. Not bad. not bad at all for a first drive. It got me to the vicinity, and I think I'm gonna have to look around a little bit. All right, see you next time.